Have you ever made a decision that felt so right in the moment, but months later you realized it quietly sabotaged your future? Maybe it was money you spent, a relationship you rushed into, an opportunity you killed because it threatened your comfort. In the moment, it didn't feel like destruction. It felt like relief. It felt like hunger satisfied. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't lose their future in dramatic explosions. They lose it in small, impulsive bites. There's an old proverb that explains this better than any self-help book ever could. A cat that cares about tomorrow does not eat a pregnant rat. It sounds strange at first, almost funny, but the more you sit with it, the heavier it becomes. Because this isn't about animals, it's about you. Imagine a hungry cat. It catches a rat. Easy meal, instant satisfaction, no effort required. But then it notices something. The rat is pregnant. Inside that one meal are many future meals, many future opportunities, many future chances. A careless cat eats it anyway. A wise cat pauses. That pause, that moment of restraint, is the difference between impulse and wisdom, between survival and strategy. Now let's bring this home. Every day, you are faced with pregnant rats. Not literal ones, but opportunities filled with future potential. Your savings account, your health, your reputation, your relationships, your skills, your discipline. And every day, hunger whispers. Spend it. Skip the workout. Say whatever you want. Take the shortcut. Grab the quick win. And it feels harmless. Just one bite. Just this once. But here's what most people never think about. When you destroy potential, you don't just lose today's gain, you erase tomorrow's options. Look at people who constantly struggle financially. Often, it's not because they never had opportunity. It's because they consumed it the moment it appeared. A bonus check becomes a shopping spree. A business profit becomes lifestyle inflation. The seed was eaten instead of planted. A farmer who eats his seed survives today and starves next season. And yet, we do this all the time. We sacrifice education for quick cash. We sacrifice integrity for attention. We sacrifice growth for comfort. We eat the pregnant rat. And the most dangerous part? It rarely feels dangerous in the moment. That's what makes this proverb so piercing. The cat that doesn't care about tomorrow sees only hunger. The cat that cares sees consequences. And here's where this gets even more serious. This doesn't just apply to individuals. It applies to leaders. History is filled with leaders who devoured the future to secure the present. They silenced younger voices out of insecurity. They crushed innovation to protect their status. They jailed potential because they feared being replaced. And for a while, they felt powerful. But eventually, there was no one left to carry the vision forward. No successors, no growth, just empty power sitting on a hollow foundation. A true leader thinks generationally. They mentor, they teach, they elevate, they invest in people who might one day surpass them. That takes confidence. That takes restraint. Because ego is hungry. It wants to be the only one shining. But a wise leader understands something most insecure leaders never learn. If you destroy the next generation, you are building your own irrelevance. The same is true in families. Parents who refuse to teach responsibility because it's easier to control. Families that fight over inheritance instead of building shared wealth. Siblings who sabotage each other out of jealousy. It's all the same pattern. Short-term emotion, long-term damage. And here's the uncomfortable question I want you to sit with. What are you consuming right now that actually contains your future? Maybe it's your health. You trade sleep for scrolling, energy drinks for rest, temporary pleasure for long-term vitality. Maybe it's your reputation. You vent publicly instead of privately. You chase applause instead of character. Maybe it's your time. Hours vanish into distractions. Days blur into comfort. Years slip by unnoticed. Time might be the most pregnant rat of all, because once you consume it, you don't get more. The wise understand delayed gratification, not because it's trendy, not because it's motivational, but because it's strategic. They know something simple. Restraint today multiplies options tomorrow. Discipline is not punishment. It is protection. When you choose to study instead of party every night, you're protecting your future income. When you choose to save instead of splurge, you're protecting your future freedom. When you choose to build instead of brag, you're protecting your future impact. But let's be honest, restraint is uncomfortable. The hungry cat feels the pull, the urge, the temptation. It would be so easy to eat. Wisdom often feels like loss in the moment. That's why most people never practice it. They mistake immediate discomfort for long-term harm. And they mistake immediate pleasure for long-term gain. But life doesn't reward impulse. It rewards foresight. Look at businesses that burn through resources chasing short-term profit. They cut corners. They overwork teams. They ignore sustainability. For a while, revenue spikes. Investors cheer. Headlines glow. And then collapse comes quietly because they ate the pregnant rat. On the other hand, companies that endure think differently. They reinvest. They innovate. They develop talent. They play the long game. The same pattern repeats everywhere you look. Athletes who skip recovery for quick performance boosts burnout. Creators who chase trends without building substance fade away. People who chase attention without building skill disappear when the spotlight moves. Short-term hunger is loud. Long-term wisdom is quiet. But only one builds something that lasts. Now here's the twist most people miss. Caring about tomorrow doesn't mean never eating. It doesn't mean never enjoying life. It doesn't mean living in fear. It means knowing the difference between consumption and destruction. There are rats you should eat, opportunities meant for now. And there are pregnant rats, opportunities meant to grow. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Not every opportunity should be seized immediately. Not every advantage should be exploited. Not every door should be kicked open. Some things are meant to be nurtured. Think about talent. If you rush it for applause, you stun its growth. Think about relationships. If you force them for comfort, you weaken their foundation. Think about ideas. If you expose them before they're ready, they collapse under pressure. Sometimes patience is the highest form of intelligence. And here's the deeper layer. Every action has a ripple effect. When you destroy potential today, you might unknowingly be destroying the very thing that would have saved you tomorrow. The employee you silence might have been your company's future breakthrough. The habit you neglect might have been the foundation of your health at 60. The skill you refuse to learn might have been the one that kept you relevant. We often don't recognize value until it's gone. That's why foresight is powerful. It forces you to think beyond emotion. Before you act, ask yourself, is this hunger or is this strategy? Is this impulse or is this investment? That single pause can change everything. Most regrets in life are not about what we lacked. They're about what we ruined. We ruined trust. We ruined opportunities. We ruined health. We ruined momentum. Not because we didn't know better, but because we didn't pause. The cat that cares about tomorrow pauses. That pause is power. It's the space between desire and decision. And in that space, your future is either protected or destroyed. If you want to win once, chase impulse. If you want to win consistently, protect potential. If you want applause today, consume everything. If you want legacy tomorrow, preserve something. The people who endure are not always the most talented, not always the most connected, not always the luckiest. They're the ones who think beyond the moment. They resist destroying what could multiply. They understand that real success isn't built in a burst of appetite. It's built in seasons of restraint. So here's the challenge. The next time you're about to make a big decision, spending money, speaking in anger, quitting something difficult, and taking a shortcut, pause. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I about to eat my tomorrow? Because the future is fragile. It's often disguised as something small, inconvenient, or tempting. And once consumed, it cannot be restored. A cat that cares about tomorrow does not eat a pregnant rat. It thinks, it restrains, it protects. And because it does, it never runs out. The real question is not whether you're hungry. The real question is whether you care about tomorrow. Won't you like, subscribe, and share this video? If you don't, you're eating the pregnant rat already. Beware. Don't. Do the right thing now.